pick up.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Looks like we're close to 5:30. Appreciate everybody being here. If you will, bow with me for a word of prayer before we start. Heavenly Father, Lord, we want Paul to give you the praise and the glory for letting us live in a city like New Albany, Lord. And Lord, thank you for allowing us to have meetings like this and live in a free country where we can. Thank you for the men and women that serve our country that allow this. Thank you for the ones on this board and their willingness to serve this community. Thank you for the ones in this room and their interest in this community. And we're going to ask you to lead us throughout this meeting and then lead us safely home and forgive us in the many ways we fail you. For us in Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen. Amen. Okay, we're going to let the junior on. Y'all got a presentation, don't you? Y'all got to go senior practice, no senior play.
They do.
Oh, you're not a student?
I'm not a student. I haven't been a student for a while.
I'm just kidding.
Well, my name is Stephanie Gregg, and I just want to thank you guys for having us and for letting us present to you tonight. I do have members of the junior Alderman here with us tonight. They're not all here. You guys can imagine how involved this group is. We've got soccer players tonight playing in North Half. We've got basketball players, and we've got a lot of lead members of the play who are already there getting their makeup. So I wanted to tell you first just a little bit about our group before I bring them up and let them present to you. At the beginning of school, these students applied for this position, and they applied by writing an essay about why they love our town. And those essays were judged. Those essays were judged by outside community members, and the Junior Board of Alderman was formed from those. So this is a privilege for them to be on this group. We started meeting. We've been meeting once a month. We've had several guest speakers, and we've learned a lot from them. We started out by brainstorming for ideas about what we should focus on this year. And I asked them 3 big questions. I asked them first, when you drive around New Albany, what's an area where visible improvements could be made to our town? Then I asked them, when you visit other towns, what are some amenities that you found there that we don't have? And then, what do you want your legacy to this town to be? Because they're our future, and we want them to stay here as much as possible. What is a big contribution you could help leave behind if you had the support to do so? So that's where we started, and we narrowed our big ideas down to 3, and we split up into 3 groups from there. And in the process of narrowing down our ideas, these kids learned a whole lot about laws and about regulations and about budgeting and about prioritizing for different community members, because you had to think of all that when you had these big ideas. Well, who is this really important to? What kind of money are we talking about? What are the regulations around this idea? And so I feel like they really learned a lot. So they have 3 big ideas, and we learned after they came up with their ideas that actually all 3 of them are already being targeted by different leaders in our community. So at that point, I decided they needed mentors. And so all 3 groups have been mentored by different community members. And each group met with them for their input, and they're going to present their plans to you, 3 plans. Well, actually, there's going to be 2. I'm going to present one with some help. But these are sustainable ideas, and these are economically feasible ideas, and they're economically impactful ideas. And that was really our focus. And I just want to, again, reiterate that one of the most important things I feel like we can do for children is to let them know that they're important by hearing them. And I appreciate so much you taking the time to hear them. So, our first presentation. Alex, you can introduce yourself.
I'm Alex Crystal. I'm a senior at the Albany.
And they know a lot more about technology than any of us. So, yeah, you can put it in this. forgot. I apologize.
Oh, that's no problem.
I'm just so glad it's working.
We probably wouldn't have it on. if we was-
Signs first. Yes, we're doing signs first. So one group that had one of their big ideas, all of them actually are either playing soccer or playing basketball or other characters. So I do apologize for that, and they send their apologies. But they spent a lot of work putting together a fact sheet for you that I'd like to give to you. They put together a fact sheet because they couldn't be here, and they wanted to make sure that you understood where they were coming from with this idea. So one idea that one group had, and that they were really passionate about, is that our town needs more directional signage. And that when visitors come, it's very difficult sometimes for them to navigate our city. And we have a lot of amenities that need to be recognized, and when visitors come, if it is easy for them to find things, then they're going to explore even more in our town. So their mentor is Mr. Sam Creekmore, and this is kind of their thoughts. They would like to see our town kind of divided into districts as far as the signage, and have I think they listed it on here, a trail district, a north side district, and like a downtown sort of district. They had 4. I apologize, I can't think of the 4th one. But their idea was to start at the site and complete signage out from that point, so that when people come, they can more easily navigate. And this is, you see all the way over on the right-hand side, the actual location signage, the site markers, and then it goes up from there. And you can also see sort of the continuity in the signage, which is really nice. And it shows, it just shows us off, I think. Some places that they pointed out in particular, we all know nobody can find Memorial Gym. If you put it in maps, it's taking you to the high school. A lot of people get misdirected. That's one place that definitely needs it. All 3 schools need signs. Kitchens Field, the sportsplex, both entrances to the sportsplex. The kids pointed out, and they found out that during Cotton States, we can have up to 20,000 people from out of town coming into our city. And if they have clear signage how to get to the trail, how to get to our merchants downtown, then that can really be an economically feasible thing for them. Some more samples. Those are really nice. They're downtown, Tanglefoot, and Northside are 3 that they came up with. But they felt like we really needed a 4th. So there's some ideas for signage. And again, just some places that need to be labeled. They also feel like when we have people move into our town and they're trying to figure out our school system, it's really important that they can find it really easily. One thing that they pointed out is that, even though this would be a costly venture, we all know that, we're aware of that, the economic benefits down the road can be just as important. Because if people clearly know where to go, they're more likely to explore the town. If they think they're going to get lost, they're not going to. So that's idea number 1. Alright. I'm going to leave it to my other 2 groups.
Anyway, I was like, I like to.
Better get a newspaper one day.
Here you go. I'm Haley Bullock. I am a senior at New Albany High School. And I'm Molly Jafford. I'm a junior at New Albany High School. And we had the big idea of the self-service bike rentals. Our purpose of self-service bike rentals are to support the community involvement. You'll get more use of the trailhead. You'll bring more active individuals into New Albany because you know how so much people love to be active and outdoors, and that's just one more thing to get more people into the community. And it'll bring more things to do in the community. Because I myself, I do not have a bike, but if there was places I could rent a bike, I would definitely want to be riding a bike more. Because it's kind of hard sometimes when you have a car, you can't load up your bike. So.
The way that we would pay for the bikes is we would get businesses in New Albany to sponsor a bike, or 2 businesses to sponsor 1 bike.
So that can help to pay for it. So you can even have an advertisement on the basket or in the tire spokes. Say Farm Bureau wanting to sponsor 1 bike or El Agave, they can help out, and then that'll help keep up the bikes for their maintenance and stuff. Because I don't know if El Agave wants their bike looking rough out there on the trail.
Did y'all get a cost?
Yes, we did. We're doing it.
So, okay.
The money, it'll go towards the maintenance of the bikes, and any profit can go back to the new welcome center that you are planning on doing. Here's the price.
The price, I got this quote from On Bike Share, and for 10 bicycles it would be $14,100, and that includes 10 docking racks and concrete mounting hardware, and the Novatic administration software where you could control the prices of the bikes, and you can even track the bikes and see where they are, and that price also includes shipping.
Is maintenance in that? You know,
I don't think
or if anything breaks and that kind of stuff, you're not sure.
It's not, I have to.
But you can check on that too, maybe see what it would cost with the maintenance and all that, and who's gonna do the maintenance, because we've looked into it before, but we're still wondering about that part, so thank you.
Okay. How does it work? Well, the rider will download the Movac Rider app and turn on their Bluetooth. The riders will scan the bike's code and then enter their payment info into the app, and the app will unlock the bike.
And then what happens if a bike is not returned? All bikes can be tracked through the admin software, and each day it's not returned, the rider's debit or credit card will be charged.
That's awesome. And we have that on campus at Ole Miss, and it works great. I just want to know about maintenance. So once y'all figure that out.
Okay. Okay, so we do have the maintenance. A full year monthly maintenance program includes 12 on-site monthly visits consisting of 9 monthly safety inspections and 3 complete bike tune-ups. It includes all labor recommended for all systems with year-round regular activity use. It's $250 per bike per year. And then you can also do a 3 seasons monthly maintenance. Includes 9 on-site monthly visits consisting of 7, 6 monthly safety inspections, and 3 complete bike tune-ups. Includes all labor recommended for systems with regular active use in climates where bikes are stored for the winter months. And it's $200 per bike per year. And then on-site bike assembly, final assembly from shipping box, including test ride, is $55 a bike. So,
Great.
What'd you say? Say that again. No, that last part, the amount.
$55 per bike for them building it and then they'll have a test ride. So that's when you get them in.
So the whole thing's about 18,000.
Who was your mentor?
18,
Our mentor,
Billy G.
Miss Billy Jean.
How much does it cost to rent one?
You can control that.
You can
with the-
control your own price. Because we've seen it where it can be like $1, like an hour. You know, you can do it for $5. Just whatever you feel like needs to be the right amount.
I could probably write $1 for it.
Do y'all have the extra copies of the maintenance?
We don't, but we can get that for you.
And do you remember, okay, we'll talk about it. We've got, okay, that's great. Thank y'all. We appreciate it.
That's great.
The price would be $18,250.
14 on 10. Just like it.
Okay, so my name is Kimberly Valdez, and I'm a senior, and this is our groups. And one of our plan is to do a new Albany design, like a mural. And so our purpose for this is they need a symbol and an icon in order to instantly to recognize our city. Because most of the time, if I tell them, like, you know, if I meet a person, and I was like, oh, hi, how are you? I'm from New Albany. And then they're like, New Albany? So they're like, where's that? And so I kind of had to explain it. And so they're like, oh, okay. And so they never heard of it, so. Yeah, well, my name is Kimberly too, but my name is Kimberly Ramirez, and I'm a senior at New Albany High School. And justification, many cities have their own logos for a reason, like in Tupelo and Oxford. And this symbol or icon will be very beneficial to New Albany for its very public appearance. And it will draw more people into New Albany, allowing for more public traffic and therefore increasing our economy.
And some of our design examples are something like this, is what we were thinking on the side of a really big building. And as far as cost and stuff, we were going around the idea with Ms. Venisi that we could possibly get our design before we started actually painting it and maybe putting it on a shirt or like a simplified version of it on a shirt. Sell those downtown or anywhere really and help build up that. And we could also go to like Walmart and Lowe's and other big places and see if they wanted to donate some paint or supplies or anything. And basically just do like fundraisers and stuff. That way it wouldn't really take any money out of the budget and stuff. And also as far as painting and stuff, we thought about doing like churches or any, like volunteering basically.
Seeing the benefits of public art, you have economic growth and sustainability, and then you have attachment, cultural identity, community involvement. As she mentioned earlier, we can get members of the community to be a part of this, and they'll feel good about themselves because they could be like, hey, I did that, I was a part of that. And that'll make them even more attached to this city. And you also have cultural understanding, public health, and belonging. And for benefits for y'all, it leaves behind a legacy. Like, you can be like, hey, I'm the alderman that helped these children. And, you know, good PR.
Sound like you may run for an alderman.
I think you got it.
Do you have any questions?
Who was your mentor?
Do y'all have,
I think we're in pretty good hands. don't
I
you
think so too. Do y'all have an idea of building? Have you thought about it? Or where?
We talked about
We threw around the idea of the side of Union Appliance,
Yes,
although
I
Mr. Travis isn't on that, we have to talk to the owner. Behind Mr. Bill Rutledge's building on the wavy trail off the library parking lot.
Yeah.
They wanted something where when people came in on their bikes, they could kind of see that, or if they were coming down Main Street.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else. There was one other,
We talked about the alley.
something in the alley. Of course, I told them the BBC's open for whatever they wanna do. Of course, yeah, we had a lot of ideas.
And you know the building coming across the bridge, that wall is Logan Rutledge owns that, he's opened it.
But what I found fascinating about this whole junior alderman thing was that they had these 3 ideas before we ever were.
We did not
Right.
invent them at all.
So when they said these are our 3 ideas, we were like, oh my gosh.
Those are, yeah,
You know,
it's amazing.
because they picked up on it on their own.
And what was great is, like, when you told me the ideas, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're talking, everybody's already talking about those, we gotta match all these people together, so y'all are amazing, y'all are ahead of the game. Yeah, we can learn from y'all, so thank you
I
all
think it
so much.
speaks very highly of you, Ms. Greg, and New Albany High School.
Yeah, y'all are serious about making some, your name for yourself, so they are.
Thank you.
So, can I say one thing here? So, would the next step be, like, when y'all are ready to implement these ideas with your mentor, what, if there was something that we need to approve, that kind of thing, you would just come to us about that? Or, yeah, I would think so.
I would think. Yeah, I would think.
I think that would probably do it.
Okay.
And I would just probably talk to us about it beforehand, so we know kind of
Sure.
what's in the budget, what's not.
Okay, Mark Bowers, Great Point Baptist Church. So, well, we'll forgive you this one. That's a Great Point Church.
It's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We like this item.
Good job. Good job.
The, first of all, let me just say I should have had them do this whole sign project for us, and maybe I wouldn't be spending all this time. But thank y'all for hearing me. Sorry I wasn't here last meeting, but we had one of our pillars that passed away, and his funeral or his viewing was that Wednesday. So that gave me a little bit of time to get some more stuff and ensure. Again, we're still wanting and we're still pursuing putting a sign right there at the 2022 South Central Avenue entry. What I've dubbed Malfunction Junction right there. It would be a 3x5 sign above the fence to give definity and direction to where our church is at. I've come to you guys and come up with some more stuff that you wanted me to bring to you. And I've went down from the rental equipment place, from there down, and went door to door asking and telling them who I was. And out of 23 homes, 5 people I wouldn't think if Jesus came back that they would be happy with anything. But through that intersection down to past our church, nobody seemed to have any offense to having a sign put up there. Nobody talked to me that was against having it. All they would say was good luck trying to get it passed. They felt like that it would be something when I showed them what we were going to be presenting, that it wasn't going to deface New Albany. It wasn't going to do anything that would be detrimental to the scenery or sightline of that area. Talking with Miss Livingston about the signs and how we're doing away with signs and, you know, this and that in our discussion. If we were doing away with signs and signs weren't a public awareness, then why does the sign company spend $1.6 million a year in signage on roads, interstates, and city areas? Signs are important. Signs make a statement. Signs are a way for people to have notoriety. Even with the fast pace of technology, people like putting their eyes on things. Our church is in the back obscurity of this area. I've talked with the MDOT, and they gave me a temporary fix until they get the road widened where they have a permanent solution for me, and will allow me to put a double-face sign there in the intersection as long as it does not impede traffic. And I shared with them what I was coming to on the, is that 15 in South Central? And they said that that would be okay for us to put a 3x5 sign as long as it was on the ground, and where we're going to be putting it, we can actually be seen from that road. I'm asking, I think I've done my due diligence as a pastor in a committee, or as a member of this community. I need to know where we're going from here for the sign.
Did you bring an example of, or did we already have it?
You already had the example.
So the sign size is still the same size?
3x5. And I really do like their presentation, because most of those signs are not going to be 3x5 in their directionals.
Actually, those signs do meet directional, they meet the directional ordinance.
Not far.
Not for it.
I mean, you're allowed, was it 2x2, 4 square foot? You just want to increase in it, 3 or 5?
Yeah.
I'm not for giving variance.
Well, I guess that's it. Are y'all opposed to them putting it above the fence where it can be seen? I think that window there.
No, because if that'd be a variance. Even if I do a directional under y'all's stipulations, that's gonna be a variance, and I'll get blocked for that.
That's what I'm asking. We have to do a variance for them to put it up high enough to get above that fence.
5 feet on high.
Huh?
Foot max.
From the top of the sign. So that I won't get the variance for that either. And I can't put anything on that intersection, because that's DOT owned. And I can't affix anything to their sign or to their fence. So it's a lose-lose.
I mean, I've already told you what I think. I mean, it's advertising, it's not directional. So I'm not for making a variance for something that's an advertising sign. It's not directional. That's directional about different parts of town and different things. This is not directional.
No, that's advertisement.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you, but I'm not for it.
The board has a limited ability to go over all the many options with you, other than they obviously address the main request. But if you meet with there, I'm sure he'll spend more time, and you can talk, and he also will understand his ordinances very well. And maybe y'all can find something that you're happy with and that he thinks would meet the ordinance. So I'm only directing you to have a more lengthy conversation with him than with them.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
We didn't make any kind of motion.
Yeah, we didn't change that. Okay, yes, look, that's good. This is Now, we're gonna move up back up to public hearing, 702 Parrish. Anybody here concerning 702 Parrish Street?
Mayor, Board, I'd like to continue that until March 5th, Major.
Is that the one where we didn't get proper notice?
Yes.
All right, so that's not really continuous, that's a reset. We didn't get notice for this one. So, we'll just have to set it for that date, renotice.
All right, we reset to March 5th.
We do need a vote to set it though.
The motion, we'll have a second for Kevin Dale. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Okay, next one is 201 Randolph Street.
I'd like to continue it also.
On that one, if I understand correctly, you did get proper notice. Is that the Ellis property?
Yes.
Is it John Ellis?
Yes.
John Ellis
Yeah.
present?
John.
He's asking that, 201 Randolph Street, this board determined that proper notice was given, but that the hearing being continued, so that no notice, new notice would have to be given. Are you happy with that?
That's fine.
Okay.
No problem. I appreciate you consulting me.
All right, with that said, then we just need a motion to continue it and determine that notice will probably.
Motion by Will, second by Amy. Any other question or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, with that, we're gonna move down to departmental business, like gas and water. Will?
A couple things run by y'all tonight. We got a heavy on gas work, it seems like right now. And they jumped in and do the pay request. I think we have one of those down the agenda. I don't have my agenda in front of me, but, got two or three in that regard. Here's a summary of what I have. I'll pass those around. Yeah, this is a gas.
Jay.
That's what's gonna be included in my stack here. Regarding the Marshall County gas project, we actually have two invoices paid. One is to Eubank Construction for $44,952.67. You know, we got a community development block grant to help us on this project, but there's only certain parts of the project that grant will pay for. And I guess out of that invoice, they determined that $13,935.33 will be paid for the block grant. So I think we have, somehow that has to be specified in the minutes, they're gonna pay that part. And we'll be paying the $31,017.34. I'm saying that's city funds, that's out of that bond money that we got for the project. And then there's a second invoice on the gas projects for the Cook College Engineering. And again, this is not just this is probably 3 or 4 years worth of engineering work that they put in on this. The block grant money does not cover any engineering work. That all comes out of the grant, not grant fund, but bond money. That was all figured in the budget. So we're all good on the dollar amount. So I think we do have to get approval to, again, for Eubank's invoice, the way it's split between block grant and then our contribution to the Cook College Engineering. We do that as one motion.
I would suggest leave the Cook as a separate motion.
Okay. So then we'll just do the Eubank construction work.
All right, we got a motion by Johnny, second by Keith. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. The Cook Collins invoice. Got a motion by Johnny, have a second by Amy. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
I guess the second group of invoices is regarding, we had to move the gas line in Denton County. MDOT was, they're doing some bridge improvement in there, and we had to move our gas line so they can do their construction work. This was a job that we did back in the fall. The construction was completed in December. We will be reimbursed for both of these invoices by MDOT. So I guess they have a one pay request, Paul 50 Construction for $156,573. And it was just 2 or 3 week jobs. It was just only one and final. And this is the only invoice we'll get on that.
Got a motion by Kevin Dale, have a second by Keith. Any questions or discussion on that? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
And then we have the Cook College Engineering invoice. Again, this will be reimbursed to us by MDOT.
Got a motion by John, second by Will. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
The last pay request is for Killen Contractors. They're the ones that did the utility relocation on Coulter Drive and the improvements built on Rosewood. So we all kind of bundled that together. This is the fourth and final invoice. Again, this was something that we did out. This is within the terms of the contract for $135,456.14.
So motion by Will, have a second by Amy. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Motion carries.
I guess another thing on the gas system, the Eubank Construction, they have started work on one phase of the project, basically where we're going for Potts Camp, so where our new metering station is going to be on the Kinder Morgan pipeline. What I need permission for tonight is to advertise for bidders to do our part of that gate station work. Again, this is all part of the project and the bond money that we have. Well, we had to pay Kinder Morgan to actually do a test, and we have to build an actual gate station set up, and we need to advertise for that.
We got a motion by Kevin Dale, I have a second. Second by Will. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Last gas item, I sent a brief you all on this. We'd like to bring Jim Wilbanks back to work for us. He's only retired a few years ago, but he's going to rescind his retirement, like to come back and work full time for us for a couple of years to help us get through these projects. And he's very much likely to have him back up.
Got a motion by Johnny, second by Keith. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Just one real quick note on our water system. We did get a grant to extend our system out to the east, got Highway 348, and we're working through all the stuff with the engineers and the county. They're the ones that got the block grant for that. So we should have something on that too, hopefully at the next meeting to get that started. Again, just the water system in general, we have that, through a good few months. I almost hate to say it because they're saying they turn there tonight, but we've done some different things with the water chemistry and then the way we handle the chlorination of the water, and that has really helped us. That's kind of some short-term things. We are looking, slow to long-term fixes. We're identifying some names going to need to be changed out, and we hope to put together a project that's going to help us address some of those things, get to continue to improve the water system. And I guess the last thing I want to make you aware of, y'all may have gotten questions about the broadband bill that was passed. I guess it's been passed, I'm not sure it's been signed or not. Again, it was mainly targeted for co-ops, but we do have some rural area that would probably be eligible to run some broadband in. The co-ops have been pretty organized on this, and we don't necessarily get in those meetings at their end, but the way they approach this, there's a feasibility study that they have conducted, I guess, just to maybe see the market size and what it would cost and really what all, it would really be a viable option for them to participate in. And I don't know a lot about the feasibility study. What I plan to do in the next month is get that vetted and find out who can do those studies. And hopefully next month I want to bring back a proposal to y'all to see if we want to do a feasibility study or not on broadband. So just, I don't think we need any action, but I just want to let you know that I'm looking at that.
You ever check into whatever, found on the internet about it, you can transport it across electrical lines?
That is possible, but the co-ops are planning to put fiber up.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, and I think there's some grant money out there for that if you get everything turned in. But again, I'm not saying that wouldn't be a possibility, but they can get what they tell me, the true high speed, without got to have fiber. But again, we'll have it vetted out hopefully at the next meeting.
Okay.
We can talk about that. That's it.
Thank you. All right, street department, Johnny, you got anything? All right. Park and Rec. You can go, Johnny, when you get ready.
You got everything, 3 items, like some quotes, I'd like to give y'all, 2 of them is on the original budget that y'all approved, and 1 is another item come up. The first one is 60-inch rear discharge mower, X-Mark, and I got 2 quotes, and the lower quote's from 4 Seasons. That quote is $8,546.23 compared to $8,626.23. And the next one is a Z sprayer from 4 Seasons also. This is an item that it's just now being able to get, like a place like 4 Seasons used to, you had to buy it off and just strictly from the factory. But they've been able to get a dealership, and it's $14,497.99, and the company in Batesville has received permission to sell them too, and that's $15,243.
Did you get a second bid for that one?
Yes, 15. One, if you need it, it's from Batesville.
Just leave. You already left them with Frankie.
I told her, I got it for her.
Okay.
And the other one is two of the fields, the Cotton State Field, the Legion Field, High School Field, whatever y'all want to call it, and the one right by the Pony Rink is what we call it. They are in dire need of being being shot on them for the infield and stuff because of so much play on them. And I got Mr. Burnett to give us a bid at, we've got two separate things here for the $13,800 to do both fields. And the other one is from the company out of Gatlin, Tennessee, and it's $17,675. And I'm assuming this would come out of the Sportsplex Tourism Fund, improvements on the Sportsplex. These two are in the budget. The mower and the Z sprayer was already in the budget. This one is not.
How often, are those redone, are those?
Probably every 4 to 5 years, depends, this last year, the last 2 years, it's been so wet and everything, and get so mudded up, we counted up today, we probably played, just Cotton State alone, we played 180 some games on those two fields, and that's not including high school tournaments and junior high, so you're looking at well over 200 games a year.
And Cotton State pays us how much? $5,000 a year?
Yeah.
And then the rest of the games are city of New York, or what?
Well, the
High school, junior high.
and junior high, then the tournament.
And then the tournaments are
And then, I'm sorry, I know I've asked this before, and we get money from those, the city does?
We get all concessions.
All that money, but we don't from Cotton State, we just get the
Just the
$5,000.
$5,000.
No, we get concessions.
Yeah,
From
Cotton.
Cotton State, okay.
Cotton States, we get concessions, and then we don't get none of the gate, but in tournaments, we get half the gate and all the concessions. And in junior high, we don't get nothing from the high school, but the junior high, we do run the concessions for them.
And so if we took the lowest bid, it's about $13,000 every 4 years for two fields?
That's for two of the fields, and it's really based on how bad the field conditions are from one year to the next, how they get eroded. You know, like this last year, we've had enormous amount of rain, drainage, they just get to where they won't drain. And it's not the sod, it's just the dirt part.
Okay.
Mound area, home plate, and baseline, it's not.
And I'm not questioning, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to get you cued in exactly.
Okay.
From time to time, you have to do the sod.
Yeah.
This is not that case.
Okay.
Alright,
Alright, so we need to, the others you've got budget for. Do we need to make separate motions on all of it?
I would think the two, well, we can probably take the two and budget for together.
Okay. So I move that we, on the two budgeted ones.
Okay. That's for the mower and the Z sprayer. Got a motion made to have a second. Second, but Johnny, any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? All right, to redo the two fields, we need a motion for that. Motion by Will, second by Johnny. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all, appreciate it.
Police department. Any police out there? All right, thank you. Fire department. Thank you, sir. Now, let's go up to tourism and marketing.
Village Union.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, talking about plans. I mailed you my report and Tracy's report, and so we're just in the heat of the planning season, so.
Okay, thank you. Beautification committee. Who's gonna be the spokesperson? Village Union?
Sam's out there.
Is he-
Sam.
Hey, Sam, round him up.
Yes, sir.
You up?
All right. The New Albany's been awarded the Tree City USA. And that's a prestigious award, and it's also going to help us receive grants. We've also asked to get a tree survey of all the trees in New Albany, 12 feet off all our city streets, plus our parks. We got a couple of quotes on that, and one was $12,000, the other was $8,500, and David Fulgham was the $8,500, and he's here to tell you about the tree survey. David?
With this tree survey, what we hope to do is just basically put data in y'all's hands of how many trees that the city owns, the condition of them, mapping of them. So y'all can look at them, you can look at the data and say, you know, city of New Albany has 2,000 trees, 10% of them are hazardous and need to be removed. You've got ways that you can then allocate money to, you know, to the tree care.
Will you say something about the website? I thought that was pretty cool, about tagging money.
Well, all these will be mapped off with GPS, where you can pull up a map and see every tree, categorize it in whatever way that the city needs in terms of the website.
Tell the information we'll gather for each tree.
Okay, as far as information that we'll gather, we'll get this location, tree size, species, condition, any notes on the tree of concern, and then put all that into a report along with a map of trees.
Age? Can you get an age? Not really? Okay.
Yes, I guess.
I mean, you can take the size and kind of come up with a general range on it.
And have you done this for other communities as well, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You, Holly Springs, you just finished?
Ocean Springs, Holly Springs, downtown Jackson. Oddly enough, the city of Tishomingo Tishomingo County, small community. So.
Sam, is this money already in beauty? Sorry,
It is beautifications.
Budget. So you're just asking
Budgeted, and there are many. I mean, we need to know. Trees are a great resource, especially in Mississippi, and this is something we need to know.
Right.
Just the condition of our trees, just like the condition of a road. They bring great value. Plus, you know, it's something, once we have the survey, then the committee can go and update it every year, every other year as to the condition of the trees. Bill's crews, when they prune, they can make notes. Of course, we can put it into that file for each tree. And then in the bigger picture, our plan is to start a tree conservancy for all of New Albany can join, and we'll take David's information, put it on the city's website. Any tree you want to locate, you can go to that website and locate it, say the species and condition. And it's also an opportunity where we can raise money and awareness for trees, as someone can memorialize or honor somebody by naming rights to that tree. So that's a big picture. We're not here to talk about that, but these are some of the things we can do with this survey.
And you're asking us just for the approval to conduct the survey?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The survey wouldn't take place until this summer, but the money's been budgeted from.
The low bid was 8,500 that day. Am I right?
8,500.
Okay. Got a motion by Keith to have a
Second.
He's got 2 bids. Yeah, the other one's 12. Second by Amy. Huh? No. All right, any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
That's all, this is just a survey, it's all just 7,500 just for the survey, we putting that data on website.
Yeah.
Well, the survey won't, the website's later when we start the conservancy, but this is GPSing and all the information to put on the website. Mapping.
All right, any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
And I want to thank y'all, beautification, for getting the Tree City status back, because I know we had it at one time and we lost it, so thank you.
And it'll be tremendous in helping us with grants. And
Yeah.
David is applying for the grant for Mississippi, and our chances went up 75%.
Wonderful, great.
I will say this, I talked to David about a year ago, maybe a little longer, and he called those trees at the courthouse, and he said they won't be here. They'll fall within 2 years. It wasn't about 8 months.
Well, maybe he can prevent us from disasters.
I'd say he knows what
That's a big part of it,
Yeah.
is to identify.
Just let us know, yeah, ahead of time.
And another thing, David, was part of that workshop that we put on for the light, gas, and water. And then we had a continuing education a couple of weeks ago that David was part of also. He's been an integral part of our time, so, of our city.
Well, thank you.
Also in beautification, one of our things was to do street trees down Carter Avenue, which is the main thoroughfare into our city. We flagged those, you can see those. Redbud is what's proposed. Redbud's a native tree, blooms in the spring, a lavender purple bloom. An outstanding tree with very little pest resistance and very little care needed for the redbud. But it would really help our entrance down Carter Avenue. And then
they don't get red.
No, they don't. Around 25, 30 feet. David, you correct me.
Not yet. You're right.
And I've had Bill look at the flagging
our crew says, yeah, that's the height of the tree. They're not going to really give us any trouble, for the line.
And also as part of beautification is, I think y'all have seen this before, we brought it up here, but this is the intersection of Carter and Main. And what we'd like to do is take out the two parallel parkings against the building on the east side and extend that sidewalk through that area and have a small planting area, but an 8-foot sidewalk to connect our walk that goes to the library parking to this intersection, or at least downtown. And then to help bring interest to this area, we're proposing painting accomplished roads in that intersection. This is one of our roads that New Albany owns, so we can do it. It has been drawn out, and this is what it would look like north. And I mean, yeah, it's the function of it. It's really a piece of art, and turning an intersection into a piece of interest, work of interest. And at the same time, our crosswalks would be painted too. So we're asking for approval for the street trees and for this intersection.
Let's stop at Carter Avenue.
Wait a minute, I got questions about that one. What we're talking about putting that on city property?
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay, just want to know that first.
on Main Street.
In that particular one, I got on the beautification committee with Howard. I actually have been telling the committee, I thought we had talked about this road, so.
We've talked about it.
And I thought, actually, I told them that we had approved it, and then I went back to look in the minutes, I couldn't find it. I asked Frankie to go look. But basically, as Sam said, that's a piece of art, but what we're trying to do is find a way, because we have limited parking downtown, is to direct people, again, what the kids from the school were talking about with direction signs, but people parking in that library parking lot and getting from there to downtown, and this sidewalk and stuff will help them do that.
Well, yeah, you can't get from that parking lot to downtown like walking through grass.
Right.
Walking
Or out
through
of the street, yeah.
And this would connect that and make it a lot more interesting.
The tree planting is first on the agenda, so how many trees, what's it gonna cost, who's gonna take care of them when it comes time for grooming and things like that?
It's gonna cost, it's about, when we flag it, we flag 200 trees. And the Carter Avenue trees be around $10,000.
How much for planting? Is
10,000.
that's included?
Yes.
Trees and planting?
Yes.
And those are in the beautification budget.
Yes, it's in the beautification budget.
What companies have qualified for the installation of the trees, and are there gonna be more than one bid with it being over $5,000, or does that apply to this particular scenario?
We
Well, I don't think the
received,
planning will be over 5, labor will.
we received 2 bids, Warren County Nurseries and Tilton County Growers, and Site One, 3 bids for trees. And then we're currently bidding out the labor right now. Teresa Baldwin, who planted the last trees, is working on it. But it came in under 5 last time.
But there'll be multiple bids on the local for it.
Yeah.
So are you asking for approval of those bids, or are you just asking for approval of the project?
The project.
So it's a good, it's made a good point there. If we do have any bid on this project is approved, it's over 5,000, you'll need board approval for that bid. It's under 5.
You're asking for approval not to exceed $10,000 on the
That's
trees
right.
on Carter. Total,
Yes.
okay.
Cause if you see that, it's gotta come before us, right? But like, if one labor's over 5 and the plantings, and the trees are over
Either
5.
one's over 5.
Either one's over 5, he's gotta get approved.
Yeah.
I thought you just said the labor, the planning was for 10,000, so you're just talking about the trees for 10,000.
How both?
He's estimating that they're both gonna be under, that one's gonna be under 5, one's gonna be under 5. That's what you're saying.
I've got multiple bids on the trees.
Okay.
3 different bids, and I think the labor will be under 5.
So you need us to vote on the project. And I just wanna tell y'all that I at first was hesitant on this because, we're about to go through this big city plan and I wanna make sure everything we do is cohesive, but I called the comprehensive planner today and he said, we're so far from having a plan on how we're going to, not that far, but a few years, but how we're gonna design, set guidelines of where things should be planted, how they're gonna be planted, all that this is not gonna mess that up. So, that makes good. So I'm fine with it. I move we go forward with the project.
I got a motion for the trees on Carter. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Kevin Dale. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. That's it, one opposed.
It's in our right way.
Now let's go to the intersection, Compass Road. Any questions on that?
How much is it?
We budgeted 20, we have not gotten any quotes yet on that, we'll get the quotes.
Now remind me of this one, I'm sorry. This is what you just showed.
This is extending the sidewalk,
Okay, got it.
this is
got it.
painting the Compass Road.
Okay. And this is already in your budget too?
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. Do we have any idea how much?
We budgeted 20, but I will pinpoint it closer so I get bids.
We still got enough money in the beautification budget to pay for everything that we're doing, Frank.
I don't know, that's why I'm sitting here trying, I can't remember how
They
much.
can't go over, but
I don't think it was
It's
for,
not, it's,
how much they were.
54,575 is what this is just our plans. We've sent this to y'all. We're only seeking approval right now for 30. Plus, well, and the tree survey, so 38,500.
I think frankly, the only money we've spent thus far is for the side of the medians at the tennis complex.
Yeah.
That's all that we've done so far, that I know of.
So you spent 42,000.
Y'all, that would come out of the beautification of the
Yes, ma'am.
soccer and tennis.
Right, it comes out of beautification.
The tennis got a budget too, man.
Oh, yeah, but this
You
was,
don't want to come out of that,
this was,
tennis beautification.
we had plenty of money
Yeah.
for these projects. We're within budget, we've been very diligent about that, looking at that.
I make the motion that we approve the project for the Compass Road.
Okay, got a motion by Keith. Do I have a second? Second by Kevin Dale. Any other questions or discussion?
That motion for under 20,000, is that right? Is that what you said you budgeted for, 20,000?
Yes, sir.
Should that be including bids on everything?
Well,
Yeah, not to exceed 20.
Yeah.
Not to exceed.
No, I think your motion is you're approving the project, that's up to the amount requested. And his request was about bids, and bids may require later approval as it comes in. Right, we'll see.
All right, got a motion second. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay, let's Carter Avenue.
All right. Billy.
As you can see,
this committee does more than just beautification. So, in our discussion, we would like to rename the beautification committee to, New Albany Sustainability, Advisory. And you keep hearing that word, sustainability. We feel like it meets our mission as a committee where we conserve, we manage, and we enhance the beauty of the community through practical planning that manages the resources wisely and protects historical values while supporting the ecological, economic, and social needs of the community. So it's more than just flower beds and making sure the sidewalks are cleaned off. We're doing things that are going to bring economic value to the community. So our ask is if we can rename our committee the New Albany Sustainability Advisory. NASA.
So I have a question. I have a question. So how does that align with our overall vision of consolidating all of our groups and you being over?
That is very much in line with the Main Street vision. It's in line with where cities are going now as far as.
And you as community development and under that.
It aligns beautifully with that because everything we do is for the betterment of the community. And socially, economically, aesthetically.
But are we still working for community development to be this umbrella and then all these things fall under it? And this is one of the, this is one of the things that falls under that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, have a motion to rename the committee.
So moved.
Motion by Keith, second by Amy. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Any opposed?
Can I just say, this committee works really hard, and at the beginning of the year, we get our projects down to the penny, and we stay within that. I mean, we try really, really hard to stay within that budget, so that's just my 2 cents.
Okay, you gonna, we got on here approval of Creek Myrtle planning out of the bond funds, and we got $100,000 for Bankhead, which we were gonna use for an arc across Bankhead, but the state wouldn't give us, and then we're telling them what we need to do, so we've got money left over, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, we'll spend some of that on planning Creek.
Well, let me talk about it first, because I've been the one that's kind of talked about this the most. Is if you look at where this all started, is if you look at Bankhead, where the cemetery is, there's really not any consistency to what we have there. We have some different trees that may or may not look good depending on the time of year. And one of the things that I've had on my mind since I've been an alderman is having some kind of separation from the road and the cemetery. Just, if nothing else, it kind of puts a little buffer between the two, but then also if somebody, some loved one of somebody that's buried there is there, it gives them some privacy as well. Well, originally, when we first started looking at this, and I asked people to look at different things, we were talking about shrubbery, we were talking about building brick walls, and obviously the cost of that just is not feasible. So, to have consistency, the recommendation is that we put crepe myrtles and this flag where you can do that. And that won't, obviously you'll still be able to see into the cemetery, but it provides that separation that I'm talking about. And then also it gives us that consistency. And the thing that the beautification committee's been talking about is the importance of trees. And I think those crepe myrtles along that area will really look nice and it'll be consistent. Now also one of the things I think, and Sam, correct me if I'm wrong on this, is going out. We had talked about going out on the other side of the bridge on Bankhead, going out west and north. Well, it really doesn't do any good to go, because after you get on off the right of way, you're getting down into a ditch and it's really not any good. But what we would like to do is with those crepe myrtles and those islands as you go out to those shopping centers, is put some, and I never looked, were those flagged?
No, we're not.
Okay, but anyway, that's part of it as well, and I don't remember because you and I never got back together on the cost of the whole thing. But what I'm asking is that arch bond, I asked Frankie what it was called, but that money, there was $54,000 left and it has to be used on Bankhead. And my request or my recommendation is we approve, what are the dollars for the trees for these?
It was to do there are 13 islands in front of the Culver City, and then on down to 30, and doing 3 crepe myrtles in each one, doing those plus the 142, I think, along Bankhead was around 19,000.
That comes out of the grant.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm proposing, is we use some of those dollars for that.
My concern there is the cemetery land rights. I'm not sure what property owner rights are there. I don't know what rights we have to that property. And if we don't have complete ownership or complete right of at least the portion of the property we're talking about using, there needs to be some more research into that. It may have to be approved by one of the groups, like church, say they have. I really have no idea.
I thought we owned it.
We maintain it.
We don't own the street, the state highway down through there.
Got it.
I'm not sure if the Wilbanks, they the ones sold the burial plots. We don't own any.
It's
We
not a
just
city
do
right of way, so we don't have a right of way along that road. The state does.
I would assume the
Right. Now, you
family members that maybe own those plots.
you can contact IDOT and see if they have a problem with this.
I was told that they didn't, that wouldn't be an issue.
We offer the right of way for them to.
Okay. But now, the other part that you're talking about with the Wilbanks or the church or what, that, I don't know.
Keep it in the right of way, that's fine, but I understand it's a small right of way.
It's an 8-foot right of way, and they're flagged outside the right of way.
Flagged outside of it right now.
Yes.
So they're.
I know on one occasion that crab apples were planted, I don't know if it's by the city or an organization, years ago, and that's what's, the tree that's there looks
You know,
nice
when?
and well. 15 years ago, maybe.
Okay, Bobby probably